true home. So we are in an inward journey. Through a process of observation, non-judgmental observation. When we close our eyes, the inner world opens up. When eyes open, we see the material outside the sensory world. When we close our eyes, we are able to recognize the inner world. So this is a search for our roots. The source of everything. The source of our inspiration, our health and happiness. Without this spiritual roots, the material sensate world has no meaning. It becomes a burden. With the spiritual roots, the material world becomes meaningful, a playground for us. So these 15 days, we keep away all our materialistic preoccupations. And dive deep into the depthless consciousness. And we need the leisure to undertake this journey, this pilgrimage. So with our eyes closed, the tension between the eyebrows, watching the breath, which makes us alive. Without this forces of air that dances in your nostril, we fall dead and the body disintegrates. With this breath, prana, the body, mind, the spirit and the world, all of them are held together into a unity of experience. An experience of being alive. Capable of wondering. Capable of seeing the stars and the rainbows. Without this breath, there is nothing. So watch the breath with great reverence, with a sense of gratitude. O Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi. O Prana, you are manifest God. You are God's incarnation, Ishvara's incarnation, which is concrete and experienceable. So watching the breath, feeling your heartbeat, the heart which pounds, which beats, which ticks away, and the fall and the swell and the fall of the stomach walls. The tingling sensation at the tip of the fingers and the toes. So you are having a holistic experience as you watch your breath. And you are silent, calm, the butterflies in your stomach has disappeared, and the frogs in your throat has vanished. You are clear and confident. And you are ready for this inward journey. All the way to that oceanic consciousness, Satchidananda Sagara. Where we all meet as the children of the same God, Brahman. So once we discover our roots in the spiritual dimensions, the material world of interactions, mind and matter, start flourishing. Is no more a pain on your neck, the world. The world is a flower or a feather on the crown of your head. So this integration of the matter and the spirit in your life is the purpose of spirituality. Our life becomes the meeting ground of this union, Shiva Shakti union, matter and the spirit. para and apara prakriti. So we are preparing ourselves in meditation for this inward flight. And nothing disturbs you, even that sound of the machine, or the fan, or the dogs barking. None of these sensations disturb you, because they all go and disappear into that oceanic consciousness. So take a long deep breath and hold it. If you feel distracted or bored, take a long deep breath and hold it. Practice that kumbhaka. So that the mind comes back and abides, the monkey mind. Thus practice that samyama, equanimity, balance, the focus. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Now open your eyes. That is a short meditation which you can practice at home. So from today onwards we are into an inward journey, as we say, moving inward. Vivekachoodamani, that's what the text we are discussing. Vivekachoodamani. Viveka means discernment. Atmanatma vivekam, nityanitya vastu vivekam, drigdrishya vivekam. The Viveka is described in many ways. Drigdrishya vivekam, that is one viveka. Or nityanitya vastu viveka. Or atmanatma viveka. Ability to separate from the apples from the oranges. I am giving you a box with apples and orange. And we have to separate. Or separating the kernel from the chaff. So you consume the kernel, not the chaff. Or drinking coconut water. You drink the water and throw the shell. That ability to distinguish, to differentiate, and take what is necessary and reject what is unnecessary. Or I give you a piece of chocolate, and then you remove the wrappings of the chocolate and eat only the chocolate. Will you eat the wrapping also? You won't. You remove the wrapping. It's the ability to separate the kernel, the inner stuff, and the outer wrappings. Life is like that. Life is a combination of what is necessary, what is unnecessary, what is true, what is false. So that Viveka is very, very important. That's the Viveka. Vivekachoodamani. Choda means the crown. Mani means the jewel. So the jewel on the crust of Viveka is the crown of Viveka. This particular text is supposedly the crust jewel on the crown of Viveka. Ordinary Viveka and the extraordinary Viveka and the superordinary Viveka. Many levels of Vivekas are there. So this text is taken as a supremely important text in the world of Vedanta, Vedantic literature, corpus of Vedantic literature. And Vedanta, when we say Vedanta, we think of these text books, Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad, Brahma Sutra. These are the three important texts. And you have been exposed to some of these texts. And Vivekachoodamani is quintessence of all these texts. Imagine these texts have been boiled in a bottle, in a vessel, and you take the essence of that. So by studying Vivekachoodamani, you would have studied all the Vedantic texts. That's the beauty of this text. So we need supreme concentration to study this text. It's a very condensed text. So yesterday we have seen, after having acquired a quiet mind, then your real journey starts. What is the journey? Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa. Listening from a competent teacher, not just reading, listening. The competent teacher. But I am not able to listen. I lost my hearing capacity. Okay, then use a hearing aid. Hearing aid. Some or other these words have to get into your brain. And then the brain will process it. So spiritual journey starts with, real spiritual journey starts with the ability to listen from a competent teacher. After listening, of course, Manana, Nididhyasana, etc., we have seen yesterday. So we are in that stage of listening to the scripture. Now our journey, what are we seeking in life? What is our search? What are you seeking in this class? We can say moksham. We are seeking moksha, freedom, health, happiness, love. Moksha means all this. Mohachayam, moksham, freedom from delusion. And the greatest delusion is I am an unhappy person. And all your journey begins from that. I am unhappy, therefore I have to become happy. And I need a cup of coffee. Isn't it? To be happy. So thus for happiness you are taking coffee, tea or coke or drugs or sex or money, power. This is what we are seeking for happiness. These are all instruments. We think they will take us to happiness. So we begin with a notion that I am an unhappy person. Nobody told you that. That's your delusion. That's a delusion with which we are being. That delusion has to go. Moha-kshayam. Moha is this deluded understanding about oneself. So you can say, my goal is moksha. I want to be free so that I can dance like a baby or a child or a butterfly. At this point we are not able to do that. They are sitting like in a fetal position. In a fetal position, wondering what is going on. So we have to wake up from that position and spread yourself and soar into the sky, let us say, like a butterfly. At this point you are sitting like a worm. But there is a butterfly in the worm, inside the worm, unbeknown to the worm. And the worm sits and meditates or sleeps or whatever. And one day, the worm becomes a butterfly. This is our possibility, our potential. But that potential is not recognized, appreciated, or actualized. We have to actualize that potential. So let us say moha-kshayam, moksham. That is what we are seeking. And the Bhagavad Gita Upanishad says that moksha is gained by recognizing your nature as Brahman, not as the body, mind, ego complex. Body, mind, ego complex is only a vehicle for me to drive in this world, to enjoy the world. So unless you recognize your nature as Brahman, there is no moksha possible. There is no freedom. So how do I recognize my nature as Brahman? Where should I go? Which cave should I go and sit? Go to the Himalayan caves, isn't it? Sit in that cave and try to see Brahman, as though Brahman is sitting in that cave. How do I recognize? Some people say, look into your heart. But where is the heart? The pumping heart? Which heart? So where will I recognize Brahman? How will I recognize it? How far is Brahman from me? That word is very key. It's a very important word. That what I am seeking is Brahman. What is Brahman, etc. we'll see. At least that word, catch hold of that word. A key word for it. Of course you can say Bhagavan or Ishvara or Paramatma or Purushottama, Sri Krishna, Rama, etc. Many words are used, Atman, many words are used, and they all are meaningful. So let us use this word Brahman, and one has to recognize Brahman. Where is Brahman? How do I recognize? So where do I seek Brahman? You have to seek Brahman in the text, he says. It's a textual study. These words, this corpus of words, look into that word, try to understand the meaning, word meaning, sentence meaning, implied meaning, experiential meaning. That's what we are doing. So I said Brahma Jijnasa, Adhado Brahma Jijnasa. I have a desire to know Brahman, to know my identity with the Brahman. How do I do that? We have to reflect upon these words, he said. The text, this text. It's a textual study. We have to understand that. Why are we studying this text? Why this particular text? Can I know Brahman by looking into these dry, black words, dark words? These words will speak to you. So that's a major commitment we have to make. I am seeking Brahman. That seeking is possible only by understanding the meaning, the word meaning, sentence meaning, implied meaning, and experiential meaning of this text. So this text becomes the guha, the cave. Yo Veda Nihidam Guhayam, Taittiriya Upanishad. You have to know Brahman in the cave of your heart. Where is the cave of the heart? The cave is these words, he says. And that's why the study becomes very, very serious. Very, very serious. Without knowing Brahman, you are bound. Samsara sagare. You will be drowning in the ocean of samsara. Only drowning, you are not yet drowned. If you are drowned, then there is no problem, isn't it? We are only drowning. When we think we have almost drowned, you pop up again. Then you wander. This way, we are like a cat and mouse game that is going on. So one has to put an end to that. So this text becomes our savior, he says. We have to discuss it, reflect on that, and realize the meaning of the text. That's the seriousness with which we are approaching this. It's not that just simply some words you by heart and all that. So Vivekachoodamani become our real savior. This particular text becomes our savior. This text will speak to you with the help of a teacher. That's what why we are studying this text. So by studying this text, we would have studied all the other literature. And this great author, Shankaracharya, has studied and reflected and experienced, and from his experience, he has condensed all this wisdom in this text. I hope you understand the seriousness of this study. It's not just a cerebral exercise. It's an experiential exercise, not a cerebral. Because the Brahman that you seek, you don't find anywhere else. You don't know what it is. You don't know what is Brahman. You don't know where it is. How is it? And we have to discover that. And your identity with that. So therefore, let us take this text very seriously. It's a textual study seriously. Some people say, no, I don't want to study anything. I will just close my eyes and sit, and I will, whatever happens, that's enough for me. Okay, close your eyes and sit. Then you will sleep. That's all what will happen. When you close your eyes and sit, you are only sleeping. Or you may get some experience. That experience is transient experience. It comes and goes. All the experience that you are talking about comes and goes. You can get into the experience, get out of the experience. When you get into experience, you say, no, this is not what I want. I want something else. I want a Ganapati experience. Then somebody said, Hanuman experience is more important. Isn't it? Then I want a Hanuman experience. Then you have some other experience. This way, from experience to experience, you jump. At the end of the day, you are utterly confused. So therefore, what exactly is this Brahman? I don't know. We have to take to the scripture. That's why we are coming to the scripture. And this particular text, I hope you understand the seriousness of this study. As I said, it's not just cerebral, it's a deeply transforming experience by this study. So let's get into Vivekachoodamani, which is the essence of all the scriptures, Vedantic scriptures. Should we start? Vivekachoodamani, written by Shankaracharya in our search for Brahman. So let us read. Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Satgurum Pranadosmyaham. As we have seen, no effort is complete without a prayer. We make effort to study or do something else. So we always start with a prayer, invoking the blessings of God and Guru and our elders. That's the meaning of a prayer. Your parents, your gurus, and God. We have to invoke the blessing. Therefore, your effort becomes fructified. Otherwise, it will become frustrated. You may make a lot of effort, but nothing happens. Because there is no grace. There is no blessing. So we need a blessing from our parents. They are dead and gone, or they are alive. We also need a blessing from gods. We also need a blessing from our gurus. So these three blessings are very, very important. So Shankaracharya begins with a prayer, prarthana, before he starts writing, composing this text or teaching this text. So what is the prayer? Let's read again. Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranadosmyaham. Pranadaha Asmi Aham. I prostrate, he said. I prostrate. Aham Pranadaha Asmi. I stand prostrated. That's the concept. I stand prostrated. Pranadaha Asmi Aham, he says. So prostration is a mental attitude. Whether you touch and pull the feet of the Guru doesn't matter. What matters is, are you mentally surrendered? Not just physically. Physical surrender is only an expression of your mental surrender. You can physically surrender without mental surrender. You don't have to physically surrender provided you have a mental surrender. I prostrate at the lotus feet of my Guru, he said. Sadgurum Pranadaha Aham Asmi. Who is your Guru? Shankara. Shankaracharya's Guru. Govindam Paramanandam. So Shankaracharya's Guru's name was Govinda. Govindam Paramanandam. And Guru's nature is, what is his nature? Paramanandam, he says. Supreme joy. My Guru is always happy. He never pulls a long face. He is always happy. So you say, what is there to be happy in this world? Everything is in a mess, isn't it? And you sit there and laugh like a madman. What is the matter with you? What is there to laugh in this world, to smile in this world, in spite of all the problems? You become a beacon of light, he says. Problems are there. You can smile away all the problems. Just flash a smile. Problem will simply disintegrate. Problem becomes a solution at that time. Just a smile is enough. You can go miles and miles with a smile after saying. Problem will simply disintegrate, you say. Or you try to solve the problem. The more you try to solve, the more problems become stronger and deeper, you say. The only way to solve the problem is become the solution to the problem. And that is possible only by a smile. So, my Guru is Paramanandam. His nature is supreme joy, supreme bliss. That's my Guru. Vivekachoodamani. They're always smiling. They don't pull a long face or a frown on your face. The moment you see him, there is a frown on you. Always smiling. How can you become a good Guru? Just smile, you see. You don't have to do anything else. If you can smile, then you are a Guru. If you frown, then you are a devil, he says. The difference between a Guru and a devil is just a smile. So, Govindam Paramanandam. And he is Sadguru, you see. Because he is talking about Sat, the truth. Sat means truth, which doesn't change in all the 3 periods of time. So Guru is constantly meditating upon the Sat, not the Asat. Asat you don't have to meditate, it is all over you. What you have to meditate is on the Sat. So that is why it's called Sadguru. There is Sadguru, Asatguru, Sadasatguru, various type of gurus are there. So here is a Sadguru, is because he is meditating. And Sat is Brahman. So when I look at you, if I am a real guru, so I have to see the Brahman in you. You may sit like a question mark, that's a different matter. But when the guru looks at you, he sees only the Brahman in you, nothing else. Because there is nothing other than Brahman, you say. Nothing other than happiness. So, Satgurum Pranadaha Aham Asmi. I salute my Guru. And my Guru represents all the Gurus. Because we worship all the Gurus. All the Gurus talk the same thing. They don't talk different things. They may use different language, different expression, different vocabulary. Ultimately, they say the same thing. So Govindam, Govinda also is a very meaningful word. Gam Vintadi iti Govinda. Govinda is the one who protects the cows, protects the earth, protects the devotees. He can lift the mountain and protect you from torrential rains, he says. That also he can lift the mountain. So Govinda, one who protects. He can lift your spirit, which has gone under. You can lift it. That's why it's called Govinda. Gam Vintadi iti Govinda. So in the presence of the Guru, you must feel certain uplift. Don't be afraid of your Guru. I am scared of my Guru. That's not the kind of relationship the Guru wants. Guru wants you to be relaxed. How do you know he is a Guru? The length of the beard, or the length of the hair, flashing, dangling behind you, or the length of the nail. Some people grow the nail, you know. So, I met a person in Rishikesh, a Swami. He took me in a boat and then to his cave and all that. He came back. Then he said, Swami, I'll show you something more interesting. I was curious, what is that? He took me to his room and he unfolded his dada. And it was almost a mile long. He has been cultivating, growing that. I was impressed, but not much. Initially you get impressed a little bit. But what is the point of that? The more the hair grows, less the brain, they say. Isn't it? Caesar was bald. The great conqueror Caesar was bald. So he felt very upset about that. Though he was a great conqueror, he conquered almost all of Europe and even North Africa. But still he was unhappy. So his mother asked him, what's the problem with you? Oh mom, no hair on my head. And I feel very bad. So his mother says, Caesar, don't you know, God doesn't give hair and brain together. You have to make a choice, either hair or the brain. Caesar said, okay, that's fine. I will choose brain, not hair. So long hair does not mean you are a wise man or a wise person. Jadilo mundi lunchida kesha kasha yambara bahurda vesha. You can wear your hair long or your nail long, that doesn't make you a qualified teacher. How do you know he is a teacher, a guru? How do you know? In whose presence you feel relaxed. You can put down all your defenses. Otherwise there is a lot of defense. The moment I say something, you are defending. Isn't it? You pull all your defenses, all your weaponry you will flash when I say something. In whose presence you can be yourself. You can remove all your masks. labels, and be yourself like a child, in whose presence you can be a child, you can be defenseless, you can feel relaxed, you can feel having come home. That person can be called your Guru. Let me give a definition like that. Of course, there are various other definitions also. You should have studied the scriptures, you should be able to explain the scripture, you should have the right vocabulary. All these are important. But more important is, do you feel relaxed? Can you argue with the Guru? That also is there. Can you ask questions to it? Can you ask your genuine question, not manufactured question? Of course, Vivekachoodamani itself says these are the questions you should ask. Kodam bandha, kadamesha gadaha, kadam pradishtasya, kadam vimukshaha, kosavanatma paramakatma, tayor viveka kadame daduchada. These questions are supposedly to be asked to a teacher. I will go one step further. Whatever questions you have, you can ask. This question and answer is the methodology of self-unfoldment in the Vivekachoodamani. So, Govindam, Paramanandam, Sadgurum, Pranadosmyaham. I salute my teacher. How do you know the true nature of the Guru? We have seen an ashram Guru is the most important figure, unlike a temple. A temple Murti is the important figure. In ashram, Guru is the most important figure. We are dancing around the Guru actually. So, what is the true nature of the Guru? Is his physical body? Or his scholarship? Or his big ego? What is the true nature of the Guru? He says, to know the true nature of the Guru, Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam, he says. Tam agocharam. When you meet your Guru, he is only physical form, isn't it? But you are not seeing the true Guru there. Agocharam, very difficult, it is not available for a physical perception. Physically you see only the physical form. That is only the tip of the iceberg, he says. That is not the true nature of the Guru. Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam, he says. To know the Guru, you have to study the whole Vedanta. Even then you may not understand the nature of the Guru. You have to study the whole Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad, Brahma Sutram, meditate, and then alone we understand the true nature of the Guru. Sarva Vedanta Siddhantam. Vedanta and the Siddhanta of the Vedanta. The purport of the Vedanta. Gocharam. Only through that, meaning you understand the Guru only through the study of Vivekachoodamani, let's say. What is the nature of the Guru? Satchidananda Rupaya Vishwotpatyadi Hedave Tapatraya Vinashaya Sri Krishnaya Vayam Namah. So Guru's nature is Satchidananda. And your nature also Satchidananda. You are not far away from the Guru. So the Guru and Shishya create a dynamics, a space where these revelations happen. Because both are Brahman. And there cannot be two Brahman. Isn't it? There can be only one Brahman. So Guru and Shishya, both are Brahman. In their dynamics, they create a space where the spiritual experience blooms, manifests. So Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta. So to understand your Guru, you have to understand yourself. To understand you have to study the scripture. These are all interconnected, you see. They are not separate things. You are on a big journey. A big journey. A journey which will take you far, far. The more farther you go, the nearer you come also. This is the journey we are talking about. So, Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam. And what are the essential statement of the Vedanta? the essential, the quintessential state. All the Vedanta. What is the quintessential state? I told you 4 or 5 statements. Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi, Prajnanam Brahma, Ayamatma Brahma, Sarvam Khalu Idam Brahma. These are the essential statements. And here in the ashram you come to meditate on these statements, this profound state, and experience and understand what we are talking about. So, Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gojaram Tamagojaram Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranadosmya. With this positive note, we start by seeking the blessings of teachers and parents and elders. Let me start this. So, you have put the right step forward with a prayerful attitude. Now, next. So, let's read it once again. Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranadosmyaham Jandunam Narajanma Durlabhamada Pumstvam Tado Viprada Tasmad Vaidika Dharma Marga Parada Viddutvamasmat. Okay, we can break it. Let us start. Jandunam Narajanma Durlabhamada Pumstvam Tado Viprada Tasmad Vaidika Dharma Marga Parada Viddutvamasmat Param Atman Atma Vivejanam Tada Swanubhavo Brahmatmana Samsthidihi Muktirno Shada Janma Kodi Sugrudehi Punnir Vina Labhyade. Once again, this sloka you have to by heart. Jandunam Narajanma Durlabhamada. Now we will read on one line. Jandunam Narajanma Durlabhamada Pumstvam Tato Viprada Tasmad Vaidika Dharma Marga Parada Viddutvamasmat Param Atman Atma Vivejanam Sanubhavo Brahmatmana Samsthidihi Muktirno Shada Janma Kodi Sugrude Punnir Vina Labhyade. Now you are sitting there and you say, I am a human being. Human being, Homo sapien, Homo erectus, Neanderthal, Homo sapien. Homo sapien is a wise man, that's the meaning of Homo sapien. You are supposedly a wise individual, wise person. I mean, whether true or not is a different question. He can be wise, unwise, otherwise, any wise, possible. But you are supposedly to be a wise person, Homo sapien. From the monkey we evolved into, Vanara became Nara. Val has gone. Tail has disappeared, tail has gone into inside, and then the horns also have gone inside and now become a human being. And this human being, human birth, is a very rare gift, he says. The Acharya says, human birth is a rare gift. Brahmanveshanam is possible only in the human birth. No, nowhere else. Not in heaven, not in hell, not anywhere else. Not in any other birth. Buffaloes, 2 buffaloes sitting together, they don't discuss Vivekachoodamani, fortunately. Isn't it? 2 buffaloes, 2 monkeys, 2 donkeys, 2 crocodiles. to elephants, to lions. They just hunt and then eat and then sleep and mate and fight, that's all. Do they do anything else? They don't do anything else. After eating, they sleep. When they are hungry, they run. Again after eating, they sleep. Then they wake up, they mate, they fight. That's it. So that's called a jantu. Jayade, mriyade iti jantu. Just born and die, no development, no improvement. A lion has been a lion since millennia. An elephant has been an elephant since millennia. It's only you and me who have this idea of progress, development. There's restlessness. I am restless. I am not realizing my full potential. Something is brewing in me. This desire, this ambition, this aspiration. I am not happy with what I am today. I feel suffocated. I feel I am sitting in a cage. Don't you feel sometimes? I want to flower, I want to fly, I want to grow wings. This feeling, this restlessness is a divine gift. If you are not restless, you are a useless person. So that restlessness is there in all of us. So among these millions of beings, sentient beings, from mosquito onwards to Brahma, the four-faced Brahman, these are all sentient beings. Even a mosquito is sentient. It has got a life. It also reproduces. It also becomes grandparents, isn't it, mosquito? You are not the only grandparent. Even these ant colonies and bee colonies, there is gurus and then worker ants, cow ant, various kind of this in that colony, all kind of creatures are there. They also are intelligent beings. So among all these beings, we are human beings. We have got this birth, this body, this mind, which is a rare gift, it says. And don't waste this time. Don't waste this life in simply eating and fighting. Shishnodharapara, isn't it? Shishnodharapara. Don't waste your time like that. Use this body for a higher purpose. Don't worship the body. So, Jandunam, of these beings, sentient beings, millions of them, from Brahmadi, Stamba Paryantam, Pipiligantam, human birth is a very rare gift, I say. Very rare. They say there are about 7 billion humans on this planet. 7 billion, that's all. There are 20 quadrillion ants in this planet. A quadrillion is 1,000 trillion. A trillion is 1,000 billion. A billion is 1,000 million. Of all this, we are only 700 billion. Very rare. And we don't know whether life exists in any other planet. We don't know. They speculate mathematically there can be 10,000 other civilizations. We are not sure. We have not yet detected any life anywhere. So this life here on this planet, this tiny planet, is a very rare gift. Jandunam narajanmum, human birth. It can be male, female birth, human, Homo sapien. So Jandunam narajanma durlabham, very rare. So you must thank every day. Rather than cursing, my daughter is not listening to me, my husband is not listening to me. Don't waste your time on just silly things, he says. Frivolous, silly things. This life is for you, given as a gift, and use it for meditating upon the Supreme Brahman, God. Don't waste your time on silly things, because we don't know whether you will get this life again. So that is very important. Otherwise we are wasting our time. Not only your time, others' time also. Isn't it? Not only your time, others' time also is waste. So Jandunam Narajarma, we should be very grateful to your parents, to God, for getting this human life. Jandunam Narajanma Durlabham. Ada Pumstum. Among these human beings, those rare one who has the Pumstam and that courage, that bravery, that agency, sense of agency, that I can manage my life. That's the meaning of agency. I can manage. I am in charge, I am in control of my life. Of course, with God's grace. So Pumstum, that manliness, that courage, basically is a sense of selfhood or agency. Agency means I can manage. That is very rare. You find hundreds of people here. Everybody is saying, I cannot manage, life is very miserable. I don't know what to do. Nobody listens to me. So you have outsourced everything to other people. Can you take charge of your life? Can you be on the driver's seat? That's called the sense of agency. I am an agent. I am master of my life. I can be in charge. I don't want to bother God unnecessarily. If it's too much, I can come to you. Isn't it? Most of the health issues you also can manage by fasting, by changing your diet, by doing exercise. Here, any simple headache, you run to the doctor and give him headache. Isn't it? 90% of your problems you can manage, whether it is a psychological problem or physical problem or financial problem, you can manage. God has given you the intellect, the buddhi. That buddhi we are not using properly. So this ability to take charge, I am in charge, with God's grace of course. Don't just say that, leave everything to God, but tie your camel in the tent, you say. Give everything to God, but tie your camel. Other camel will run away. So that ability, that I am responsible for what I am today. The kind of choices I made in the past determine what I am today. You are not blaming anyone. I am in charge. I did it. So that ability, that agency in life is called Pumstvam. It doesn't have any gender meaning. Some of the traditional acharyas will say human birth is very rare. Among that human birth, the male body is very rare. That doesn't mean male or female. It means I am in charge. I can be responsible for my health, my happiness, etc. Pumstvam. And when you gain that sense of agency, which other animals may not have, that self-awareness. An elephant has no self-awareness. It has got awareness. That's why the elephant is able to move around, isn't it? If you prick the elephant will catch you and bang you on the ground, isn't it? Unnecessarily give pain to the elephant. It has got awareness, but no self-awareness. Or not at least developed self-awareness. We have self-awareness. We have agency. And from that self-awareness, agency. All this we have to become aware. cultivate. From that self-awareness comes tado viprada. Viprada means the idea of right and wrong. Vipra. Vipra means dvija, twice born. The twice born has gone through certain cultural processes. As a result of that, we know what is right and wrong. What is the right thing to do, what is wrong. So that kinds of conscience, conscientious life, a conscience we develop. We know how to, what is right, what is wrong, how to conduct ourselves. That possibility is there. Whether you develop it is a different question. Whether you are aware of that is a different question. So the ability to know what is right and wrong. When we start standing on our two legs and look far into the future, we also develop this ability. As we start using our fingers, our brain also start developing. That's why brain and fingers, the hand there is a tremendous coordination, correlation. Good speakers, they use their hand, isn't it? Certain words, they don't know the right word, they use the hand, the right word will come. So the hand and the head have correlation, they correlate. Not causal, but correlation. Not that by raising the hand you will get the right word. That is the causal relation. By raising the hand you provoke somewhere, some part of the brain, and you get the right word. So, viprada means ability to know what is right and wrong. For example, a family. We have our own children. We know how to relate with the children. They are my own children. That does not mean you do whatever you want. I raised my own daughter, but I don't marry my daughter. I spend all my time, all my effort, isn't it? I should enjoy. No, you don't do that. You don't do that. Or you are married, then you are focused on your wife. Not everybody. But animals don't do that. Animals don't do that. Only human beings. So human beings have this ability to know what is right, what is wrong, what is appropriate, what is inappropriate, what is desirable, what is undesirable. Otherwise you are not a human being, you are an animal. So that ability to understand what is right and wrong. Not only we are self-aware, we have agency, we also know what is right and wrong, viprada. So we go through that culturing process, samskara kriyas. And samskara kriya means developing these capabilities. Then, so jantūnām narajanma durlabhamada pumstum tado viprada tasmad vaidiga dharma marga parada. So when such people come together, people of agency, sense of right and wrong, they create communities. They create community. Otherwise community building is not possible. Small communities you may be able to make. A blood-oriented, blood relation communities. You cannot create larger communities. Larger networks are not possible. Here a larger network is made. Where such people with an ethical sensitivity, they come together, then create a larger network. The larger your network, the better your prospects is. You've seen the monkeys and small groups. Here I don't have any blood relationship with you, but still we are together. It's not just a tribal grouping. It's a larger ethical, moral community we build. That moral community we build, we create a history, we create literature, we create text, either oral or written text. So our collective experience of living a moral life It's all captured in written and oral tradition. That is called the Vedas. Our ancestors started writing down all this, like Vyasa. Some small communities, they have their own Vedas, and he collected all that, 4 Vedas. And then we started conceiving heaven, hell, punya, papa, yajnas, homas, pujas, yoga. So because we have the leisure to think on all this. When a community, there is a leisure. Specialization. Somebody cooks, somebody cleans, somebody does that, somebody do this. Specialization. So some priest class, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, all those things. The very detailed community is manifesting in a certain geographical. So this is called Tasmad Vaidika Dharmam, he says. So written down, formalized, constitutions, division of labor. The Brahmin will do, Kshatriya will do this, Vaishya, Shudra, women, men, children, parents, gurus, teachers, rulers, and citizens. All this complex system arises as a result of that. That is called Vaidika Dharma. We all are Vaidikas because we follow that Vaidika Dharmam, Varna, Ashrama Dharmam, or Sanadana Dharmam. So somebody was telling me, Swamiji, if you touch Varnashrama Dharma, Sanadana Dharma, my blood will boil. Somebody was telling me, if you touch Vaidika Dharma, that, how your blood boils? Because you are part of the system. You feel choked. Somebody is saying, talking something about your tradition, culture, you feel choked. You feel approved. So your blood will boil. Or your blood pressure will increase at least. Blood pressure may increase, isn't it? So, because we are part of the system. That's the Vaidika Dharma Marga Parada. We are part of that community, that system. To be part of such a system itself is a blessing, you see. Otherwise, you will be wandering like a vagabond. You are part of a very complex, developed system, so that you can unfold your greater potential by being part of that. If you are alone standing somewhere, you will not be able to develop your own full potential. You have to plug into that system. So, Tasmad Vaidika Dharma Marga Parada. Dedication, Parada, dedication to Vaidika Dharma, being part of a very developed, complex system. Gods, demons, Papa, Punya, heaven, hell. So, gods has to be propitiated, demons have to be kept in bay, so that human can live at peace. The demons are all in your mind anyway. So, all these ideas come. Heaven, hell. So there is an elaborate description about hell, isn't it? Heaven and hell. We studied in Kathopanishad. Description of hell, heaven. Surge loge bhayam kinja nasti na tatrastum jaraya vibedi ubhetirtvashanaya pibase shogadigo modode sargaloge. In Sargaloga you don't have to work. You have to only enjoy. Because you have earned enough punya, you can enjoy. If you have earned enough money, then you can go to Goa and enjoy, isn't it? After enjoying, the meter runs very fast there, because you don't earn, you only spend. Meter runs very fast, and teto bhukta sargalogam vishalam chine punye martyalogam vishandi. Then you come back, you went there in business class, came back in cattle class, he said. Money all gone. Then you come back. When you come back, the bill also comes. This is how we are living our life, he says. But this is a very complex web, complex life. This complexity is the stuff of life, I should say. It should be very complex. So demons. So Rama and Lakshmana was asked to protect Vishwamitra's yajna, isn't it? Demons come and destroy it, may come and destroy it. So Rama and Lakshmana with the bow and arrow running around the yajnashala and looking for trouble, defending them. It's a yajna, defend. Demons will come. From your own mind, demons will arise. Any project you start, demons will come. Gods also will be there. So this complex nested idea is developed over a period of time. It's a historical development, human historical development. That's why Vaidika Dharma Marga Parada. Now we are settled, everything is well organized, and now we start philosophical thinking, you say. What is deeper? Is this all? Is there any something else? So some people have the leisure to do that. They become scientists, they become thinkers, they become spiritual people, isn't it? Spiritual people also need some food. And somebody has to produce that food. If you go on farm and then cultivate and then you have no time to meditate or anything, somebody has to give us food. And we are beholden to that people. So the farmer there sweating and toiling on the field in the blazing sun is the one who protects us. So we have to pray for that. Or the soldier who defend our culture and our tradition, our geographical boundaries, we are beholden to those people. So that we, some people, can sit and meditate and receive their revelatory wisdom and spread it to the world. Somebody has to do that. That's our job. Sannyasi's job or Brahmin's job. So then the philosophical inquiry starts. We have the leisure now. Earlier we didn't have the leisure. We are sweating and toiling and fending off our predators, running away. They are all there. Now we are settled. We can do yoga. When you do yoga, one lion jumps on you. Will you do yoga at that time? You cannot do yoga at that time. Or a snake or a let us say a rat. We cannot do yoga at that time. We need leisure. We need leisure, we need space, the appropriate space for all that. And these few people are working for, they are the future. They are looking into the future. Looking into the depth. Future means here depth. Which ordinary people may not have the time or the faculties to do that. So these are spiritual soldiers going forward. And we can follow them. And they are in many. There are only very few people. So those people are the growing tip of humanity, I should say. They are the buds which will create new branches of the tree. So we have to promote them. We have to promote. We have to support. So he says, Tasmad Vaidika Dharma Marga Parada Viduttumasmat Param, he says. Then you become a Vidwan, a philosopher, an inquirer, a meditator. Vidut, philosophical inquiry, spiritual inquiry starts. Everybody may not be able to do that. We are doing on your behalf. Like professionals, everybody cannot become a doctor. Everybody cannot become an engineer. You can become a mechanic or a technician, not an engineer. That is professional training. You cannot democratize that. Everybody should be an engineer, everybody should be a doctor. Not possible. So our Varnashrama Dharma very clearly said, specialization, compartmentalization, professionalizing things. Some people do that, some people do something else. Together we will progress. That's what I said. Alone you can run fast. Alone you can run far, go far. Or not even far. Alone you can run fast. Together we can run far, they say. If we are together, we can run far. Alone you can only, you may be very fast, but you don't reach a destination. That's why between the hare and the turtle win the race, isn't it? Slow and steady. So we have to be together. We have to specialize. And we have to recognize, respect people who are meditating, spending their time on the scripture, meditating. Respect them. Feed them. By feeding them you get punya at least. At least a stint in heaven you get. Even not more than that. So that's called Varna Ashrama Vyavastha. That's why, and then some people can meditate. They are the cutting edge. They are the state of the art, cutting edge. So people ask, what is that Swami, that ashram doing? They are not doing anything. They are not making any product. Some ashram do that with the products. Isn't it? Garments and this and that, or some kind of trinkets they make and sell it. This ashram is not doing anything. There are some people, wearing some funny clothes and then meditating all the time. They are working for you, for your future. And it's for us to feed them, to protect them, to clothe them, to provide for them. Because they are looking to the future. They are looking into the depth. So it's our duty to do that. So they are very rare, he says, such people. If you cannot do that, at least go and worship them. Fall at their feet. They are rarer. So, tasmad vaidika dharma marga parada vidvatvam asmat param. That vidvatvam is rarer than the earlier varnashrama dharma. Now you are become more spiritual. You are inward now. Earlier we were outside. Vidvatvam asmat param. You become a philosopher or a spiritual person. What are they doing? Atmanatma vivechanam. Still rarer. There are a lot of philosophers. Western philosophy, Chinese philosophy, this philosophy, that philosophy. The real philosophy is Atmanatma vivechanam. The ability to separate the Atman from the Anatman, he said. The truth from the untruth. And here it's a big exit, big turn here, about turn here. So far we have been thinking truth is somewhere else. Here we discover truth is not outside, I am the truth. My sense of self, I. We have to inquire there, nowhere else. In search of the truth, where do we inquire? That I experience. Do you have that I experience? Do you say I all the time? Yes, that is the only thing I say in life, isn't it? I. I got up in the morning, I had a shower, I jumped into the car, I went to the office, I worked there, I came back, I. Isn't it? I came back and I had a shower, I had my dinner, I had a cup of hot milk, then I watched the TV, then I slept. Who is sleeping? Who is sleeping? I. Not your wife, you are sleeping. Oh, she also is sleeping, of course. So whether you are sleeping, you are awake, you are dreaming, you are dying, you cannot get rid of that I item. Everything else you can get rid of. I can get rid of my wife, my husband, my children, my wealth, my body, everything. You cannot get rid of. And there are two eyes, small and big eye. Small eye is the conditioned eye. Big eye is the unconditioned eye. So my search into truth turns into myself, to me, to the I. So you don't have to go anywhere else in search of the truth. The rest are all partial truth. You can say untruth or maya or mithya, whatever. So, a person who in search of the truth or Brahman turns upon themselves into the I. That's a Atma Anatma Vivejanam. The I and the not I. The self and the not self. Atma Anatma Vivejanam. In meaning our ability to separate the Atman from the Anatman, not self. We'll see in detail because this is the core. Atma Anatma Vivejanam is the core of spirituality. So we'll see how do we do that. The whole Vivekachoodamani is on that. Atma Anatma Vivejanam. So in our search for health, happiness, peace and truth, we are turning, our attention is upon ourselves now. That I experience. That's what we are in. There we have to dig. There we have to meditate. What is that I? Ramana Maharshi asked. Ramana Maharshi asked this question, who am I? Nanyar, isn't it? Nanyar. Koham. Kaham. That question. So this is a great about turn in life. So far we have been growing outward. Now we are growing inward. So in Varnashrama Vyavastha, they say this inquiry can be undertaken after Brahmacharya, the studies. Veda studies at the feet of the master, then when you are 20, 21, Vividisha sannyasam, you can take sannyasam, then it's for this inquiry. Or after retirement. After retirement, after 56 or 58 or 60, whatever age you retire, then you undertake this inquiry. Thereafter, don't again worry about your children, grandchildren and all that. They don't have any worry about you. They don't think about you. You are thinking about it. What's my grandchild is doing? Great-grandchild is doing? What is my daughter doing? They don't worry about you. You simply sit and twiddle your finger, twiddle your thumb, and your blood pressure. Let go, you say, let go. Time for you to let go. At the age of 60, it is time for you to let go, undertake this inquiry. Otherwise, vruddho yadi grihitva dandam palidam mundam dashana vihinam jadam tundam vruddho yadi grihitva dandam, as Shankaracharya says. Hair has gone grey, completely white, no teeth, and he still is going grihitva dandam. Where are you going? To attend a marriage party. My God, is it not time for you to retire? Shankaracharya says in the Bhajavada. Angam gelidam palidam. Angam gelida, and you cannot walk also properly. Because there is nothing else to do. I am bored, so let me go to a marriage or somewhere else. Is it not time for you to go inward, you say? So, Atma Anatma Vivejanam. We'll see what is that Atma Anatma Vivejanam in lurid detail later. Swanubhavam, and finally your direct experience of Brahman is Swa Anubhavam. Swanubhavam means experience of yourself. Anubhavam. Yad bhavayadi, tad bhavadi, tad anubhavadi is your bhavana. What are you thinking about? What are you obsessed with? What's your passion? Yad bhavayadi, tad bhavadi, that you become. Tad anubhavadi is that you experience. So if you meditating upon Brahman, then you experience that. If you meditate upon something else, you experience that and you become that. So, Atmanatma Vivejanam Sunubhavo Brahmatmana Samsthidihi. Ultimate goal is to remain as Brahman, Nirguna Brahman. That should be very clear. Nirguna and Saguna Brahman. Through Saguna you go to Nirguna. Because Nirguna Brahma Upasana is difficult for Kleshodhigadarastesham avyakta sakta jedasa avyakta hi gadir dukkham dehavad bhiravapyate. As long as you are attached to the body, Nirguna Upasana is difficult. Saguna Upasana is better. Saguna Upasana means keep a Krishna's picture in front of you and offer flowers and studis and namaskarams and all that. Sarvam Krishnarpanamastu. Sarvam Brahmarpanamastu. That kind of attitude. That's a Saguna Upasana. Nirguna Upasana is Krishna is me, within me. First you say within me, then you say me. Krishna will object. Krishna will not object. You are object. Krishna has no object. Krishna wants that. Krishna says, among the Pandavas I am Arjuna, among Munis I am Vyasa, and all that, isn't it? So, Brahmatmana Samsthiti. This is the ultimate pinnacle of human evolution, he says. An ability to abide in Brahman, which is all-encompassing Brahman. Pure consciousness, beyond the material and the mental. To abide there. And then deal with the world, he says. Then deal with the world. World will still be there. Deal with that. But abide in that presence. So, Atmanatma Vivejanam Swanubhavo Brahmatmana Samsthidihi. Samyik Sthidihi. Then you abide in that self and then look at your mind and the world and then interact with the world as Brahman. Not for Brahman. As a happy self, not for happiness. Isn't it? As a healthy person, not for health. As a loving person, not for love. You give love, rather than expecting love. So, Atmanatma Vivejanam Swanubhavo Brahmatmana Samsthidihi. And the beauty is that this Brahmatma, Aham Brahmasmi, that is an already established fact. You are already Brahman, you don't have to become Brahman. The more you try to become Brahman, you will be moving away from Brahmanite. Why? Because you are already that. This is called Siddhasya Siddhi. Not Asiddhasya Siddhi. Accomplishment of the already accomplished is. This point is very difficult for people to understand. Because we are always seeking a goal, somewhere there. In time, in space, in changing oneself. We are always seeking. So here the discovery is that Brahman is not something to be sought after. Brahman is something to be awakened to be realized as your essential nature. There is no gap between you and Brahman. There is no gap. That has to be discovered. You know that famous story of the 10th man. It's worth repeating. You know the story, but you don't know the import of the story. What is the story of the 10th man? These 10 young people, on a picnic. They had to cross a river. They crossed the river in flood. River was in spate. So after crossing the river, the leader of the group thought, let me take a count, head count. All of you stand in line. All of them stood in line, 1, 2, 3, 4, each took a head count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Where is the 10th man? Where is the 10th man? So he said, put his hand on his head, my God, bad fate. 10th man is missing. Dashamaha nashtaha. 10th man is missing. Then somebody ran down the stream, somebody went up the stream, searched everywhere. 10th man is missing. And search starts for the 10th. Asking everyone, where did he go? Maybe he wanted to escape from the ashram. He got an opportunity. He must have ran away. Then they are puzzled and perplexed and then standing there, not knowing what to do, like we are today. Then an older man comes, maybe a shepherd. What are you? Why are you young people? Why are you standing here and shouting at each other? What's the problem? You seem to be lost. What happened? No, we were 10 people, now there are only 9 people. We don't know what to do. How can we go back without this? All of us. One is missing. One man is missing. And we are not able to trace him. So this old man said, you said Dashamaha Nashtaha? Dashamaha Asti. There is 10th man is here. 10th man is here. Where? They looked around. Where? Then he said, you all stand. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Whatever the man who was counting, he was not included. Include the counter also. Include the counter. The man who is counting. Modern research, this is the problem. The one who does research is not included. Everything else is research. But the one who does research is not included. So the research is partial, and partial research is no research. So Dashamaha Asti. Then when he discovered, I am the 10th man, Dashamaha Asmi. I am my God, how did I miss myself? So did this old man bring the 10th man? No, the 10th man, he himself was the 10th man. So this is a very profound story. Very profound story, which we have to repeat again and again. So I will be talking more about that. This is my forte. I will be talking more about that. That you are the 10th man. You are barking at the wrong tree. You have to turn your attention towards yourself. So Atman Atma Vivejanam Sanubhavo Brahmatmana Samstitihi. This is called Samadhi now. Sthitaprajnatam. Samadhi, Sthitaprajnatam, Jivan Mukti. All these mean the same thing. Muktihi. This is called Mukti. So you put it in your language, the happiness that you are seeking, you already are. Don't seek it, but express it. Don't seek happiness. The more you seek, the more you miss it. Therefore, in the ashram, you have come to realize your nature as happiness, health. You cannot get it from outside. So, Muktihi, now I am free, finally, at last. I have seen the promised land, as I say. Muktihi. Shadakodi janma sugrudehi punnehi vina nalabhyadai. So this mukti is at the end of a long journey. I came back to myself. Long, long journey. I reached from where I started. I started from here and I came back. That's why everything is round, as they say. You keep on moving, you come back to the same place. I searched for myself and I finally discovered I am the one who is searching myself. Circle is completed. Cycle is complete. The story is over. Mukti. Freedom. Muktihi Shadakodi Janma Sugrudehi Punyehi Vina Labhyade. Without the accumulated punya, all the punya, that good deeds you have done, as a result of that, you meet a great Mahatma, he said. When you meet a Mahatma, Mahatma will tell you, you are seeking yourself. So turn within yourself. So that is the end of your searches. Shadakodi Janma Sugrudehi Punyehi Vina Nalabhyade. So that is the Vivekachoodamani in a nutshell. And the rest of the 580 slokas is an exposition of this truth. Reach a Mahatma, sit at his feet and learn this wisdom. So let us read it once again. Jandunam narajanma durlabhamada pumstam tado viprada. Tasmad vaidika dharma marga parada viddutvam asmat param. Atmanatma vivejanam sanubhavo brahmatmana samsthidihi. Tirno shata janma kodi sugrude punner vina labhyade. Now what is punya and papa? That is another interesting question. What is punya? What is papa? It is defined. Our Shastras define. Parobhagaram punyaya. Papaya parabedana. So whenever you do something, extend your heart to one more person, let us say. Include one more person in your concerns. If you can include the whole world in your concern, the better. One more person. One has to include. So that's punya. Parobhagaram punyaya. Doing a good word, or saying a good word, or doing a good deed, or at least flashing a smile when you see your neighbor, Ram Ram, please. That is punya. Instead of that, when you see someone, I think he is a crook. I think he is a crook. That's your first impression, judgment. He is a crook. He will never improve. Instead of that, take him as another human being. He may be a crook, maybe. But in your presence, he will give up all his crookedness, he said. Can you be such a person? Can you trust the other person? He may cheat you, that's okay. Can you trust the other person? Do you have the inner resource to be cheated left and right? Let's say. And still you can stand on your feet. Parobhagaram punyaya. Think for the other. Because your well-being depends upon the well-being of the other. You cannot flourish all alone. You cannot sit on the glass tower and throw stones at others. Can you think for the other? That is what sannyasa is all about. Punya is all about. I think for I include the other in my projects. This is called enlightened self-interest. Enlightened self-interest. So, and papam, parobhagaram punyaya, papaya parapetnam, hurting the other. Motiveless malignity, as they say. There is no meaning. You just want to hurt the other. You enjoy hurting the other. By word, by deed, by action. If you don't hurt someone, you don't get sleep at that. Isn't it? So can you be helpful to the other is the question. It can be a cow or an animal or a human being. What we call compassionate justice. Compassion. Compassion means passion for all. Include all in the web of your passions. Compassion, empathy, not sympathy but empathy. Empathy is feeling with the other. Sympathy is feeling for the other, as the holier than thou attitude. So that punya and pava is very, very, so that we can expand the circle of our interest. Punya pava. So punyena swargam, pavena naragam. I am trying to cheat you, you are trying to cheat me, both of us will be in naragam, isn't it? I try to help you, you try to help me, both of us will be in hell, in heaven. There is a story they say in heaven, in naraga and hell and heaven, you cannot bend your hand. It's only human world you bend your hand because greed. For me, for me, for me, for me. Not for you. Your toy, my toy is with me, your toy also has to be with me. So in hell and heaven you are not greedy, you cannot bend your hand. So if you don't bend your hand, how will you eat? How will you eat? In heaven they feed each other. I can feed you, you can feed me. In hell they don't do that. I don't feed you, you don't feed me, I cannot bend my hand, therefore nobody is eating. Nobody is eating. Food is there, nobody is eating. Heaven, everybody is helping each other. That way we create a community. By helping each other, specializing. What I produce I give you, what you produce you give me. This kind of exchange and trade and exchange. That's what creates prosperity, isn't it? There is no prosperity. There is a famous story. If one man makes a needle, one man factory, he brings the iron, put it on the fire and heats it up. And when it is red hot, he puts it on the anvil and beat into shape. And then make a point and put a hole also on one side. How many needles he can make? How many needles? 1, 2, 3, 4, maximum 4. But there are 10 people. One person put the iron on the fire. Another person takes the red hot iron and puts on the anvil. Third person beats on the iron. Fifth person straightens it up. Third person put it up. Sixth person put it a point and the hole, etc. 10 people can make 1,000. So what is the productivity, average productivity? 10 people, 1,000, 100. Otherwise only 4, isn't it? So when we cooperate, come together, we can generate more, he said. Otherwise we all will be the losers. You all will be the losers. This is called punya karma. You can create a heaven upon earth, or you create a hell. So muktirno shadagodi janma. So then there is leisure. Some people, we can meditate upon the higher truths, scientists, spiritual people, Mahatmas, they all can. Scientists are exploring the outer world. We are exploring the inner world. Both are necessary. Both are necessary. Scientist equation E is equal to MC square. Our equation is Tattvamasi. Our equation is. So this kind of a punya vina na labhyate. So you need enormous punya, enormous blessing to get into the state of plenitude, as they say. Next. Durlabham trayame vedad Daivanugraha hedugam Manushyatvam mumutshutvam Mahapurusha samshrayah. So finally Bhagavan is condensing all these thoughts into one line. Edad trayam. Trayam edad eva durlabham, he says. Durlabham means very rare to get, he says. Very rare. What are the rare things? Three things. Three. Manushyatvam, human life, human birth. This particular human body, which he can think, reflect, discriminate, etc. Mumutshutvam, and the desire for mumukshu, freedom, spiritual awakening, not material consumption, but spiritual awakening. Our present theology is the more you consume, the happier you are, isn't it? Consume. Spirituality, the less you consume, the happier you are. Consume less and be happy. So we are following this philosophy. Less is more, not more is. More is less for us. Less is more. LM, not ML. ML means more. That is less. Outcome is less. Here less consumption, more conservation and happiness. So Bhagavan says, Mumutshutva. Mumutshutva means a symbol and life of less consumption. Tapas. We need less to be happy. So that kind of a desire, Mumutshutvam. Then Mahapurusha samsara. The key point is association with the great people, you say. Association with the Mahatmas, not Mahatmas. Our association with the Mahatmas. We need Mahatmas, Swamis, not Asamis. We have to, very rare, you don't find them. Very rarely you find such people. So human birth and desire for spiritual awakening, that itself is a big discovery. What the life I am leading is imperfect, incomplete, full of misery. The balance sheet of my life is always in red, isn't it? Always in red, never in black. There always something is missing. Some piece is missing all the time. So that my life, the jigsaw puzzle of my life is not complete. Always something is missing. Suddenly I awaken to that truth. Something is missing. Then you meet a Mahatma, he says, which is a very rare. These Mahatmas are fast disappearing variety, I tell you. We are trying to have a Brahmachari course, nobody is interested. Nobody is interested. We are shouting from the rooftop, nobody is listening. They become a wild cry in the wilderness. People are not interested. They are all hurting towards their doom. We all are hurting towards the doom. We need somebody to put a brake. And this mad rise to the doom, to the ditch. So they are a disappearing variety, I tell you. And I tell you, ChatGPT will take over. To give a lecture, Vedanta lecture, ask ChatGPT. He will give a beautiful lecture than Swamis, better than Swamis. We are moving to that age. But this ChatGPT has no self or agency. It can only regurgitate whatever is already there. Nothing new comes out of it. Only human beings can create something. The same old stuff being repeated. Again and again. So, Manishyattvam, Mumutshutvam, Mahapurusha Samshrayam. Mahapurusha. Mahapurusha means one who thinks for everyone. He is a Mahapurusha. One who thinks for himself or herself is a Shudra. Shudra Jivi is. Not a, the other one is At-Shudra Buddhi. This is Shudra Buddhi. Association with such people is very, very rare, he says. They are not a dime a dozen everywhere. You don't see them. They are very, very rare. So whenever you see such a person, sit there, and then ask question. So, Durlabham Trayame Vedada, these three are very, very rare. What are they? Manishyattvam, Mumutshutvam, Mahapurusha Samshraya. Association with the great people. Daivanugraha Hedugam. They are all, if you have it, then take it as a great boon, a great blessing. God is kind to you, he said. You are a chosen person, special person among these people. So be humble because you got an opportunity, humility. Make use of that opportunity. Be alert. Be alert. So these opportunities won't come. If you don't use this opportunity, it will go and then it will never come back. What I am talking is Vivekachoodamani class. This is the opportunity. So you are thinking, okay, I will see a Mahatma and then sit at his feet. You are already there. Our problem is, when it is available, you don't recognize it. When it is not available, you are searching for that. You are a loser all the time. When it is available, you are thinking, where is it, where is it? When it is not available, again you are worried. So here right now, let us make use of this opportunity. It's a great blessing that you are able to sit here and listen to the great words of the Acharya, Shankaracharya. Great opportunity. We are meditating upon this great wisdom statement of the Acharya. Let us read it once again. Durlabham trayame vedad Daivanugraha hedugam Manushyatvam mumutshutvam Mahapurusha samshrayah. So let us spend a couple of minutes on this great statement of Shankara. We are grateful, Kritajnata, that we have got this human vehicle, which is the best vehicle from Brahmanveshanam. We also have the direction, the goal perception, clarity. My goal is moksham, Atma Sakshatkaram, to unveil my inner potential. And I have association with a Mahatma. And I am grateful. I am in a space where I can contemplate, meditate, without bothering about the outside world. I have the leisure and the time. Daivanugraha hedugam Manushyatvam mumutshutvam. So here we start with this great humility, surrender, openness of mind. And I accept Vivekachoodamani and the words of the masters as my guiding light. So I have to discover Brahman in these words. Brahman is hiding behind these words. Or you can say your Atman is hiding behind these words. Words can hide, words can reveal. Words can veil and unveil. It is not just the word meaning, but what the words indicate, point out. The dhvani, what the words are indicating. So you are not just chewing the words. We are looking at the direction pointed by the words. So at this point, your heart is filled with gratitude. For being a human being, for having the association and having the goal perception, the clarity. And having the text, the book, the words, the corpus of words. Simply knowing the dictionary meaning of the word will give you a cerebral accumulation of meaning. But when you use the word as a pointer, then it deepens your experience. And the collection of words, the Vedas, are Shabda Brahma, Saguna Brahma. Vedas are the Saguna Brahma. They will deliver you into the Nirguna Brahma. Instead of words, you can take a symbol, visuals. Like Ganapati, a visual, can deliver you into Nirguna Brahman. Or Devi. Devi is visual Veda, not verbal Veda. But this delivery into Nirguna Brahman is through the mediation of the Guru. All these are very, very important. So at this point, let your heart be brimming with gratitude, because you have this human vehicle, you have got perception, and you have association with a guide, a Deshika. पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते